right, today on this episode of Cook with Carlton, we're making jerk country ribs. You're going to need a few things for this recipe, but the main thing is you're going to be using country style ribs. These are in every grocery store you see, but country style ribs, you have to cook them a little longer than you would normal ribs, and they tend to take the flavor of whatever you cook it with. So with the jerk seasoning and this jerk barbecue sauce, it really makes a nice rib, and it's tender, it's juicy, and the longer you cook them, the more tender they'll be. So here we go. You got your jerk barbecue sauce, your jerk marinade. We got your country ribs. We have some green onions. This is what we're going to use to marinate our jerk ribs. So we're going to marinate them, and you want to marinate them really for about 4 to 6 hours. It wouldn't hurt you if you marinated them overnight, but these are the ingredients that you will need. And then we're going to put them in a pot, and we want these to cook down probably for about 3 hours. Jerk ribs really, these country style ribs really take a while to cook and to get tender, so we want to cook them down first before we add our barbecue sauce. So right here we're getting our marinade together. That's our jerk seasoning, and you can find this in most grocery stores, but it's a store here where I live, and they sell every type of jerk seasoning and international food that you would want to buy. So that's where I go buy it from. But I showed you the picture earlier of what it looks like. And of course, you can email me or text me. But that's some salt, pepper, jerk seasoning. There's our jerk marinade. So I use the jerk marinade and the jerk seasoning. And what we'll mix it up. And this right here, again, is going to sit for about 4 to 6 hours. And after it sits, you're going to pull it out, and then we're going to cook it. But you want to make sure all these seasons get nice and blended in here for this marinade. Okay? Definitely, I like to try to use a glove when I can. It always helps keep the hands a little cleaner. All right? And here it is. We pulled it out of the marinade, and then we baked it in the oven for 3 hours. That's what it looks like when it comes out. So these ribs are now nice and tender, but they need to cook a little longer. So what we're going to do is we're adding the ribs to this pan right here, and we're going to put a little barbecue sauce. This is the jerk barbecue sauce. So we're going to put a little bit of this right on the bottom, spread it out, and then we'll add our cooked ribs. And one reason why you're cooking these ribs before and not using the same, they create a lot of fat, and it really will just make your ribs real liquidy if you don't drain them and put them in here. So now we can just cook these for about another hour. We're going to put the barbecue sauce on top, and the ribs, they will cook for about another hour in the barbecue sauce. So you see they're still steaming, so they're still hot. So really simple recipe. You can let the ribs cook a little longer, but for about 4 hours total cooking time. About 3 hours without the sauce. See, that's the sauce. They cook for about an hour. And here are your jerk ribs. After you pulled them out of the oven, we put a little green onions on the top. And those are your jerk country ribs. And you can plate them however you want. I mean, you can use whatever side you like. I use some rice and cabbage with these. But again, these are the jerk ribs. These are after they came out of the oven. We're cooking in the barbecue sauce for about an hour. It's a wonderful dish. So I hope you enjoyed this episode of Cook with Carlton. Stay tuned for more jerk country ribs. You can stay on this channel or YouTube and get the full recipe and instructions. See you next time.
I said, speak. He is from the colonies, Your Majesty. His native tongue is all he understands.
The gates of hell are open night and day. Smooth is the descent, and easy is the way.